Greg Raymer is in seat 9. We got some familiar faces.
We're in trouble. We're up against Poker Face. I heard you're an up-and-comer. I want to put you on my channel, give you some exposure.
She shows it!
Pure mayhem here at the Lodge. There's Wayne from Doctor's Poker. Say hi to the blog, Wayne. Okay.
Come on, everybody, don't stop.
The poker world has been rocked in recent weeks. There's cheating scandals, sex scandals, assaults, and more. In this week's episode of
Truth Bomb.
There's been a lot of poker-related drama on Twitter recently. Yes, that's right. I refuse to call it X. First up is Haley Hanna, who claimed that Wolfgang Poker is buying followers, claiming that his growth of his channels and loss of users recently does not match with natural organic growth patterns. This resulted in a response by one of the least interesting poker players in history, Corey Eyring. Seriously, have you ever guys seen him on a fucking live stream? He is boring as fuck. Why do we make these people famous? Corey defended Wolfgang and repeatedly called Haley a dumbass, claiming that she was just thirsty for attention. Speaking of thirsty for attention, Abby Poker.
In case the hot dog didn't give it away.
Gen Z Thirst Trap and BetMGM ambassador Abby Poker took to Twitter recently to deride Club WPT Gold and call out female ambassadors working for them in regards to a video that Club WPT Gold had shared. The video in question shows a woman twerking on a poker table while what I can only assume to be lesbians based on their beefy builds and butch haircuts are showering her with poker chips. While I found the video tacky, there are a few points to note. First off, WPT did not create the video. They were sharing someone else's content and commentating on it in their usual sarcastic tone. To top it off, Abby is living in a glass house and throwing stones. Abby has built her entire brand on being an attractive female in a male-dominated activity. Poker is 90 to 95% male, and she regularly posts pictures of herself on Twitter, Instagram videos, etc., showing off her body, showing off her looks, doing things that aren't related to poker at all. She knows what she's doing. She knows she's an attractive, approachable female in poker, and she's using sex to sell herself. It's the kettle calling the pot black, right? Or the pot calling the kettle black. I got it all backwards. I'm all in a tizzy, man. It's just extremely hypocritical. And don't get me wrong, like, I'm all about the hustle, right? I get it. Like, if you can get out there and you can make that money and you can get that bag, good on you. But I mean, she's fooled everybody into thinking she quit some 6-figure-a-year job in her early 20s to play losing poker, you know, and she's built her brand and she's gotten ambassadorships and she got into the World Series of Poker documentary somehow. So, I mean, you know, good on you, man. You get the hustle, get that bag, make that money. But to sit there when you literally show yourself, you know, barely clothed a lot of the times to get clicks, to get likes, to get engagement, and then to call out someone else for doing something in the same vein is just ridiculous to me. And, you know, the community responded the same, the majority of people coming down on Abby and letting her know that she was a complete hypocrite. The World Series of Poker recently took down their No Limit documentary. Multiple poker players in the community who were involved with the documentary complained when it was discovered that AI was used to add in words that were never said by them. In addition, they even added tattoos to Shaun Deeb's arms for some strange reason. When taken to task by the community at large, the producer of the documentary, Dustin Iannotti, resorted to using word garbage in an attempt to sound intelligent and deflect from his guilt. And I quote, "The middle line, as mentioned, was synthesized using AI based on sentiment from other quotes." Just speak fucking English, bro. Former NBA coach Chauncy Billups was in court recently and entered a plea of not guilty. Chauncy was caught up in a cheating scandal that resulted in 34 arrests, including other NBA coaches and players, as well as members of multiple mafia families. The cheating scandal involved private high-stakes poker games where players were cheated out of millions of dollars using rigged shuffler machines, as well as other methods of cheating. And there's also allegations that NBA games were rigged to profit from the betting. The money stolen is in the multiple millions, and the true figure may never be known. WSOP circuit ring crusher and alleged grifter Maurice Hawkins made the news recently as he was caught in a video at a private home game getting his ass beat. Many in the poker community applauded Maurice finally getting his comeuppance, which is made funnier by reports that he was bragging about how good of a boxer he is before he got his ass kicked.
Oh, hell no!
K-Dog, a poker vlogger based out of Dallas, took to YouTube recently to complain about the invasion of Euros and people from other countries as well, like South America, who have come into the Dallas market and infested the local games, coming in 50 at a time on 3-month passes, and for 3 months just playing 10-hour days of poker, making games less profitable and less fun. He complained that his own profits as a grinder have dropped significantly, as well as a lot of the losing recreational players just stopped playing because playing with these European pros, and we'll just call them Euros as a blanket statement, is not fun. Texas is in a unique position with social-based poker clubs, private social-based poker clubs, where it's membership-based. So you could essentially ban players who do not have a U.S.-based ID, which is what he recommended, which is something I believe he got from Bart Hansen. Now, he's only seeing part of the picture here, and I've discussed this in a previous video I did about opening a poker club in Texas. And there's the issue of course, the Europeans. We saw them coming here to Austin as well. They would come into my PLO games. I imagine they were playing Hold'em as well. And, they're very skilled players. They're not very social, so they make the games less fun and less profitable. But there's other issues at hand that I don't think he was really taking into account, especially in Texas poker. And again, I touched on this in a previous video. I'll probably have it as one of the links in the outro. But there's the issue of these rooms not structuring their games in a way that is sustainable. They structure them in a way that is too predatory. It gives too many edges to the grinders over the fun losing recreational players, which are the lifeblood of your poker room. And there's also the issue of these rooms marketing themselves too heavily to the overly serious poker enthusiast crowd, the grinders, the misregs, the traveling pros. Now, I've seen this in the Austin market. You have the Lodge and TCH Austin, which are kind of the big dogs out here. We have, I think, maybe 9-10 poker clubs in this market. But they're the ones who get the majority of the traffic. All the other rooms get, 1 or 2 games. And they, would structure the PLO games that I played in. It was 1-2-5, but it was unlimited straddles from under the gun all the way to the button. And it didn't happen all the time, but I've seen straddles get to $320 before the flop. And it was match the stacks. So anyone could buy in, for $200 to $1,000 when the game began. But as soon as someone had more than $1,000, anyone could match it. So if you're, a fun losing recreational poker player and you're having a good session and, you turned your $1,000 into $3,000 or $5,000, here comes Klaus from Germany. He plunks down $5,000 and now he matches your stack and he can bust you in one hand. So you wind up chewing through your losing fun recreational players way too quickly. They don't win frequently enough and they stop coming. So these room operators really need to be smart enough to realize that they need to stop listening to the grinders. The grinders are going to push for deeper buy-ins, multiple straddles, match the stack, everything that gives them an advantage, because the grinders are very short-sighted. They're myopic. They are selfish. They are thinking, I need to scoop up all of this money as quickly as possible. I need that money now. I've got to pay my rent. I've got to pay my car note. I've got to pay my electric bill. They're not thinking long-term. They're not thinking about the sustainability of the poker economy. They're slitting their own throats in a lot of ways. And they're not thinking about your business model as a room operator, right? As a room operator, you want people sitting there as long as friggin' possible, paying you seat fees, pushing money back and forth. So you've got to structure your entry-level games so that new players, new blood, has a way to enter into these games and not get completely wrecked. Because plenty of people who watch my channel would be like, oh, I'd love to go play poker in Austin. I love to go play PLO, but I've got $600 in my pocket. That guy has $8,000. That guy has $12,000. They know they don't have a chance. They have to win every single all-in or they're destroyed. So you get these guys who have very deep pockets. They come into the smaller games. They jack it up. They make it play like a shallow stack 40-80, and they beat up on you because they can flip coins for stacks all fucking day for $1,000 over and over and over, $3,000, $5,000, Some of these guys will flip for 25,000. They just don't fucking care. So it doesn't matter if you double or triple up. You're still at risk constantly. And I think that I heard that the Lodge recently had changed their PLO games so that it's, no longer match the stack. And I think they limit it to 2 straddles. But they already lost all the PLO games to TCH anyway. And TCH still allows, the multiple straddles and so forth. So it's not just an issue of structuring your games correctly, but you also have to combine that with marketing to the fun recreational players. And the Lodge and TCH have done a tremendous job of building their brands within the overly serious poker enthusiast community. So they're very well known in that crowd. But here in Austin, we have 2+ million people in the greater Austin metro. Most people, after a fucking decade of having poker here, do not know poker is here. They're not aware. If you mention poker to them, they'll say, there's poker in Austin, or isn't it illegal, or I'd love to play, but I've never played before. I'd be intimidated. I don't want to get yelled at for making a mistake. And so they have not done a very good job of marketing themselves effectively on a local level. And I had this problem when I worked for Poker House Austin and when I worked for Austin Social Lounge, where they didn't listen. They didn't want to empower me to market to that demographic on a fun local level and bring in the lifeblood of the poker room, the recreational players. And I've had sit downs with leadership at the Lodge, leadership at TCH. I've had these discussions. I've said what I'm saying here, and they just don't fucking listen. And so, don't get me wrong. These guys have millions of dollars. They're doing well, but I mean, TCH, oftentimes has twice as many games going as the Lodge now. The Lodge is a ghost town as far as PLO goes. They get a game every so often, but most of those games are at TCH. But the games aren't that great, man. They're lots of just really good players now. And so you have to market on the local level, and you have to structure your games in a way that's sustainable, that gives the fun losing recreational players a fighting chance. If they lose all the time, they stop coming. And so, that is the part of the picture that I think K-Dog is really missing. He thinks that if he opens, if someone gives him $1 million to open a poker room, I think he mentioned in his thing, he would just, ban people who don't have a US-based ID. That's only part of the equation. And I'm all for it, man. I'm all for it. Go for it. Get those guys out of the game. They don't make the games any better. They're not fun social players. They don't add to the vibe of the room. They don't make it fun for your losing recreational players that you need, that the grinders need. But you have to structure your games in a way that, is beneficial for long-term success rather than short-term results. And so that's what we're seeing out here. And I think that's what they're seeing in a lot of markets. And, hopefully someone will friggin' listen and do the right thing. All right, I'm going to add this in as well because I forgot to mention, and I was talking about the cash games, but tournaments are another problem also. Poker tournaments back when I used to play them, they were all freeze-outs, right? Now it's all unlimited rebuys or re-entries for fucking 4 hours, 9 levels, 11 levels. It's multi-day, multi-bag, multi-flight with top-heavy prize pools. These are all edges for the better players, right? Joe Q Public works his 9 to 5 all week. He can't come in and fire every single flight. He can't fire all the shells. He's coming in with 1 or 2 bullets in his pocket, right? Meanwhile, Joe Q Grinder is able to play not only all of the flights, but they can take all the risks associated with, this is a coin flop spot. Well, you know what? I'm going to rebuy or re-enter today, and I'm going to buy in tomorrow and the next day and the next day because they're trying to get multiple bags to go into day 2 with a large stack. So they can take those spots where they don't have to consider tournament survival like Joe Q Public does. They're considering chip accumulation. So they can take those risks. They can take those spots that are more than likely a coin flip to give them a shot to build a large stack so that they can go into day 2 and have a real shot at the top heavy prize pools at that final table. Meanwhile, Joe Q Public doesn't have that option. He's got to consider tournament survival because he's got 1 or 2 entries and that's it. So we are structuring tournaments in a way that is funneling the majority of those tournament dollars into the grinder's pocket. It's become so much harder for the fun losing recreational players to realize their dream of winning a poker tournament because the cards are literally stacked against them with the way these events are structured. And maybe I get lucky and I bust Phil Ivey out of a tournament one time, but if he's got fucking unlimited lives, I'm not going to get him 5 times, and neither are you. You don't have a fucking chance. He's better than you. So, I come up with a concept a long time ago, and I'm sure it's been done, in various ways at other places as well. And I guess it's never really caught on, but I called it the Return of the Drawing Dead. Everyone pays 1 entry fee, 1 and done, but you get 3 lives, right? So now if you travel to play an event and you bust, you have a token that allows you to get back in before registration ends. So now you can take a beat and you can still keep on playing. And at the end of registration, any of those tokens that you haven't used can be turned in, and they're converted into chips, which are added to your stack. So now everybody's on an even playing field. You're giving the recreational players a fighting chance. The grinders already have the skill edge. Why are you giving them all these other advantages with unlimited rebuys and multi-day, multi-flight, multi-bag? Like, I get it from a marketing standpoint. Oh, $400 buy-in, $1 million guaranteed tournament, but it's a pipe dream. It's a lottery ticket that the fun recreational player doesn't have a fucking chance in hell, because he's up against the friggin' grinder who's firing 5 bullets, or friggin' Negreanu who doesn't care about the money. The money doesn't matter to him. He's all about the glory and the titles and the wins and the trophies and stuff, right? The money doesn't matter to him. So I think there was a tournament he bought in like 22 times, 27 times or something like that, and then he's playing like a fucking retard, playing something really stupid. And, he busts someone out with his stupid play because he just doesn't care. And he's like, ha ha, nanny, nanny, poo poo. Like, that's the shit that fucking turns people away, the fun losing recreational players, the people that are paying your fucking salary, that are paying your fucking mortgage. It turns them off from poker because they don't want to come in and have to compete with fucking I'm so flustered right now. I can't even think. Daddy Warbucks, with the fucking deep pockets, who's going to come in and just fucking bully them and push them around, and it doesn't matter to them. Like, it ruins the experience. So we need to, this is a long way of me saying we need to not only factor in the cash games, you need to structure tournaments in a way that gives the fun recreational players a shot. Like, if you look at a lot of these tournaments nowadays, local ones, big ones, like, how many times do you see them and they're chopping it, ICM chopping it 8 ways, 5 ways, 4 ways, whatever? That is your customers telling you, hey, we are not comfortable with these pay jumps. For the average person, an extra $800 or $1,100 or $3,000, whatever it is, it matters to them, man. That money is significant to them. So if your customers are telling you that, like, listen to them. Like, I would flatten tournament payouts a little bit, and I would pay more than 10 or 12% of the field, because if you do that, the fun recreational players are going to cash a little bit more frequently, right? And they feel accomplished when they cash in a tournament. They're like, even if it's 1.5 or 2 times they're buying, they're like, man, I cashed in this tournament. I feel fucking good. They tell their friends, they're on fucking cloud 9. They didn't even win much, right? But they're on cloud 9. They feel so accomplished. They feel so good. Now they have money in their pocket. Now that money may find its way onto a cash game, or it may come back into a tournament, but it's more likely to recirculate into your poker economy if you spread that money around a little bit, instead of taking the big fucking chunks of money and just putting it in the grinders' pockets, because that is coming out of your poker economy for big purchases and this, that, and the other thing. So please listen to me. Please hear me. Stop listening to these fucking grinders, man. They don't have your best interests at heart. They don't have their own best interests at heart, and they don't have the industry's best interests at heart. Fix the fucking games. Oh, you thought I was done? Well, I'm not done. I just had to record this now because I just forgot, but I just remembered. All right, so another thing is, if you're a grinder, okay, I need you to listen very closely. This is really fucking important, okay? If you are a grinder who is depending on poker for your income, your job is to be an entertainer. Your job at the table is to make sure that those fun, losing recreational players have a grand old fucking time while they lose money to you, right? When I'm at the table, I want you getting your entertainment value while you lose money to me so I can feed my cats, right? It's as simple as that. Make the games fun. Make them enjoyable. Be down for small talk. Talk sports, talk life, talk whatever, right? Don't talk fucking politics or sex, because it's just going to get you in trouble. But, like, poker should be fun. It should be social. Joe Q Public wants to come in. He wants to drink some beers. He wants to play cards for 4, 5, 6 hours watch the game on TV, socialize, and not get wrecked every fucking time. So make the game fun. Don't be a fucking dick. Don't sit there with your fucking hoodies and headphones and fucking sunglasses and a scowl on your face and a fucking black cloud over your head. Okay, I feel like Lewis Black right now. Like, dur, dur, dur. But I mean, seriously, like, what the fuck is wrong with you guys, man? Smarten up. You were slitting your own throats. You're destroying the fucking industry. Make the games fun. It's real fucking simple. And if you can't be social, like, at least don't be a fucking dick. Don't fucking have outbursts and stuff when someone gets lucky against you, okay? And don't get me wrong, I've been there. I've had my own outbursts. I've been guilty of it too, but like it's a one-off. Like, it's not all the fucking time. Like, there are some people that are just fucking miserable all the time at the tables. Like, I still have a little bit of light inside me, okay? And I try to fucking smile and have a good time and joke and laugh and make the games fun. So please make the game social. And if you can't make the game social, just don't be a dick, okay? Thank you. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. All right, so now on to some more cheery news. And it's not going to start cheery, but we'll get there. All right, so recently I had a new poker vlog recommended to me by YouTube. And it had a name I wasn't all that thrilled with, Minivan Poker. What the fuck is Minivan Poker? And it had, kind of a cheesy AI looking thumbnail. And I was like, but he only had one video on his channel very recently. And he already had 1,000 subscribers and thousands of views. And for context, it took me a year of vlogging every single week, long form content, to get to like 1,700 subscribers. So I was looking at this and I was like, this motherfucker is like buying fucking subscribers and views and all this bullshit. And I was like, fuck him. And then I checked it out and I couldn't have been more wrong. Could not have been more wrong. This guy, I think his name was Jesse, fucking amazing editing skills, beautiful graphics, great narration, impeccable storytelling. The only, gripes I have aside from the thumbnail was he put a little bit too many like jokey meme like clips and stuff throughout his vlog. But I mentioned it. Other people mentioned it. He seems to be aware. He seems to be dialing that back. But I think he's got two videos out now, Minivan Poker. And his second one was really good too. And I think he almost has like as many or more subscribers as I do. And I've been vlogging for 3 fucking years. So, but I want to be jealous. Yeah, I'm a little jealous. But like, he's really good. Like, the content warrants it. So YouTube pushed it. And I think he's going to be big, man. So show him some love. Check him out. I'm telling you, you're going to enjoy his content. And in our final news story today, poker vlogger Wolfgang is taking his creepy 70s porn stash north into the frozen wasteland that is Canada to film Brokeback Mountain 2 Electric Boogaloo with fellow poker pro / vlogger / content creator, I don't know if he's really a pro, Ethan Yao Rampage. Be sure to check it out. And as always, this is the first episode, I don't know if we'll have more, of
Truth Bomb.